three-point shot. Knocks down his first here. Oh, Rondo! The razzle-dazzle to Davis. Pelicans looking for the lead. Rondo, one touch. Holiday underneath. Holiday, oh, pretty. The handles and the finish. Drew Holiday. Rondo to the rim. Oh, Anthony Davis. 8 points now for Nurkic. Holiday, another highlight. 10 points in the quarter. Anthony Davis, count it for three. Slam down. Anthony Davis with a grown man's jam. 4-point lead for the Pelicans. Shot clock down to 5. The Holiday pull-up, bullseye. The Pelicans fly into the Western Conference semifinals.
What is son? It's your boy Sean the Slim God. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Courtside C show. This is the playoff style one. Let's go ahead and get started. So it's official. The first team has gotten kicked out of the playoffs, and it was, yes, unfortunately, the Portland Trail Blazers getting swept by them boys, the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, them seem to be the hottest team in the league right now. Like, they look unstoppable. Last game, which was game 4, Anthony Davis put up 47, while Drew Holiday put up 41, and Rondo put up 17 assists. It got so bad that it was a particular interview where Damian Lillard was basically like he couldn't get around a double team to where the big would stay and there was no way for him to get around. And he looked hopeless, bro. He looked hopeless coming into game 4, man, already. I blame more of the coaches because the coaches should have been able to give that man an opportunity to get open or whatnot. But it was just a bad look for Portland overall. And looking at the big picture, they might need to make a major move going into the offseason because they're not going to be able to do the same thing they did last year next season. For real, for real. And of course, the Spurs is pretty much the next on the list. They couldn't really make the things happen that they're supposed to. This was more or less expected. But even worse, I want to give a shout out and my condolences to go out to Greg Popovich and his family. His wife passed away during the series. This was earlier this week. That really put a dark cloud over the whole team. And, you know, it was just a really tough season for the Spurs this year. So, you know, they really just want to get through this last game and, you know, just go home and try again next year. So, you know, again, man, my heart goes out to the Spurs. It's looking like Kawhi Leonard might be leaving. You know, there's been rumors going around that he might be going to the Lakers. So I haven't heard some real sources yet, but keep a lookout for Kawhi Leonard and the Lakers talking in the offseason. The Houston and Minnesota game is actually 2-1, where Minnesota won their game Saturday night when Derrick Rose actually turned up and did exactly what he needed to do coming off the bench. You know, that gave them the rhythm that they needed, and Jimmy Butler was definitely not going to get swept out. You know, they're a pretty decent team, but they're actually like bottom barrel, pretty decent teams. So, you know, hopefully they'll get into some rhythm, get that second game at home, and tie it up going back to Houston. But most importantly, this OKC and Utah game is looking very strange. It's looking very strange because for the last 2 games, including Saturday night's game, the trio in OKC, Carmelo, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook only scored 8 points in the 4th quarter. The last 2 games. That's outrageous. How are you going to win if you're going to do that? You know, so it's looking like they have no type of chemistry going in. I think everybody's going to walk away. Russell Westbrook is just going to have to figure out a new team all over again, and they're going to have to just call it quits. Now, as far as the series, they still got the chance to win the series. But Utah is really in swag right now, and it's just crazy when you got Ricky Rubio being the superstar of the game with a triple-double. Like, you know y'all doing some bad if Ricky Rubio is the star. Not taking nothing away from Ricky Rubio, but Russell Westbrook, what are you doing? You know, in the press conference right after the game, he said, oh yeah, we're going to cut all that shit short next game. But why didn't you cut it short this game? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is you on? You know, so I don't know what's going on with OKC. Once again, you know, Donovan Mitchell looking amazing, you know, especially for a rookie coming in for his first playoff run. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That one definitely looks like it could go 7 games if OKC don't straighten up. And then on the East, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics series is looking pretty decent. Boston came in and won their first games at home, And then Milwaukee came and won their first one at home. Hopefully their Sunday's game, Milwaukee could even the series up, but it's looking like Boston found their swag, and Boston might go ahead and snatch that one up. I'm really liking the way Toronto's looking. Toronto's looking really amazing out there. The Wizards are just playing like the Wizards. They're looking the same as they've done the past 2, maybe 3 last years. And they're going to have to definitely make some changes. The Raptors got something going on, man. They really got some swag. And, I love OG Anunoby. He got some swag. Serge Ibaka is that man. He's not letting nobody try his squad, man. And they're looking really good out there. Very structured. So, they play Sunday night. They're up 2-1 against the Wizards. And we're going to see if the Wizards could sustain and hold that home court, man. For real. And then the Philly-Miami game. Philly and Miami, man, that's a really good series. Even though Philly is up 3-1, Miami's been fighting their asses off, man. And I really appreciate how D-Wade has been stepping up and showing his young squad how to do it, man. Saturday's game was a real tough one. I really thought Miami was going to pull that one off, man. But Joel Embiid is that deal, And Ben Simmons actually put up his first triple-double of the playoffs this year, which was really good, man. He just playing really well with his shooters, and now that Joel Embiid's back, it's taking a lot more pressure off of him, man. And they started off the game really slow, but as the fourth quarter came around, man, Miami just couldn't sustain the run that they did in the first 2 quarters. And Hassan Whiteside, I am so disappointed. I wish you could have heard what Shaq said. Shaq was going in on him at halftime, man. Just being really lazy, getting rebounds, not getting the rebounds, letting people push you around. You got a 6'8" player in front of you and you still can't make the shot right in front of the goal. It was things like that. Not running down the court. You got to be the first one down the court, and you can't let nobody push you around. You're the biggest one on the court, so Hassan Whiteside is just really embarrassing for a big, and they really needed him to be able to be better than they are now. Not saying that they're weak. They're not weak, man. This is a really tough series that they're playing against, man. So super shout out to Miami, but kudos to Philly for doing their thing, man, and keeping that swag and chemistry going from that 16-game winning streak that y'all had coming into the playoff. And last but not least, my dog, Cleveland, is looking like the same Cleveland from the beginning of the season. LeBron is doing his thing, and I don't know if LeBron should go ahead and fight to get out of this first round. I think LeBron should lightweight chill. They're not playing up to the caliber that they need to be playing to compete with anybody in the playoffs right now. And it kind of sucks because it's affecting LeBron. You can tell because LeBron is playing so hard, but when his teammates ain't doing nothing, he starts walking back down the court, and then they blame LeBron, but you really can't blame LeBron because he's the only one doing anything, And then, of course, Kevin Love, one of the most underrated. So, shout outs to Indiana Pacers for being consistent. Even though Cleveland lost that game, Indiana didn't win that game, Cleveland lost that game. They do play Sunday night, and Cleveland does have a chance to go ahead and even this out in Indiana. They still got a chance, man. It's just going to be a long, long road if they end up making it to the conference finals, let alone the finals. I'm seeing 6-7 games in every round if they happen to get to the finals, which is really odd because it's like, damn, LeBron, y'all used to be so much better. So what is LeBron going to do after the season's over? Do you really think he's going to leave, especially looking at how the squad playing? Or do you think they could build some chemistry up, man, and really make a serious run next year? Me, I definitely think LeBron needs to reevaluate everything and go back to the drawing board and figure out what he's going to do next year, man. Seriously, dog. Overall, this might break the streak of LeBron's run to the finals, which kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is, and we're just going to have to figure out if he's going to stay or go with another super squad next year. That's the playoff updates for this week. Make sure y'all check me out next week going into the second round. Other than that, I'll check y'all out next week. Peace.